Coach's Corner, live from the Longbranch, is brought to you by Kruger Contracting, Avera St. Mary's, Bank West, Fording Electric, and Gales Gas. Coach's Corner is also brought to you by Edward Jones Financial, Gateway Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, Midwest Co-op, and Oahe Federal Credit Union. Coach's Corner is also brought to you by Lamb Motor, First Dakota National Bank, Todd's Electric, Shane's Pharmacy, and Wagner Auto. And now, live from the Longbranch in downtown Pierre, it's award-winning KCCR Sports Director, John Winkler.
And a good evening as we welcome you here to the Longbranch, live here on Coach's Corner. You can also stream it on YouTube at KCCR Sports. John Winkler here on this busy Wednesday evening as we will talk here with Coach Steve Steele in just a little bit. You're listening to Coach's Corner here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
For 30 years, Todd's Electric Service has had the privilege of providing electrical wiring solutions for residential, commercial, and agricultural customers in central South Dakota. From small service calls to large commercial projects, Todd's Electric Service has experienced electricians for any job. Call 223-2518 to schedule your project. Todd's Electric Service is your line to power. 223-2518.
As long as you have a local cooperative, you'll never farm alone. At CHS Midwest Cooperative, our team is your team, ready to help you make the decisions that are vital to your operation. From the seed, plant health, and marketing the grain, to fuel to keep you running, the feed to supplement your herds, and the financing programs to make it all possible. We're here for you. Give CHS Midwest Cooperative a call today and let us show you the value of the co-op. Local, loyal, and trusted for generations.
Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre still wants your trade or your spare vehicle, and we're willing to give you top dollar. And we'll throw in an additional $250 Pierre Pride dollars. Sell us your car, and Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you an additional $250 Pierre Pride dollars. Trade in your vehicle for a new or different one, and Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you $250 Pierre Pride dollars. Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota at 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Call 605-224-7378 and visit GatewayFordToyota.com.
People helping people.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Oahe Federal Credit Union member? At Oahe Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Oahe Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Oahe Federal Credit Union.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
This is Coach's Corner on Central South Dakota Sports Station, AM 1240, today's KCCR.
As we welcome you back here to the Longbranch, John Winkler here alongside Steve Steele, as we will talk about Pierre Governor football. And Coach, it's good to talk to you again. How things have been going for the last week?
It's been a good week of practice. I think our guys came out hungry and motivated this week, and we had a good JV win on Monday, so that was good. Guys went out and beat Rapid City Central, so week's been good so far, and we've obviously got to keep working and culminate it with a good game on Friday.
Yeah, you take on the Douglas Patriots out in Box Elder, won the last couple of road games. You get back-to-back road games here this week and next week with Yankton looming next Friday. But this Douglas team, what have you seen from them on film? When you look at just their scores, they haven't scored yet offensively. Progressively, they've allowed fewer points. But what have you seen from them on film?
Well, I think the biggest thing that they can do on offense is they really can take the ball and hold on to it. They had a lot of long drives against Rapid City Central that they didn't have those first couple games. And those, if you kind of remember our game with them last year, that's kind of what they did. They just held on to the ball for a long time. And, if you limit the amount of possessions, and that keeps the score down too. And, the coach's kid, Magic, I guess. I know it's Machachak. Yeah, I said it's hard to say. So Magic just sounds a lot easier.
Right.
But his kid's really, really talented. They move him all over the field, and he does a little bit of everything for him. He's a big dude, but he's so athletic and so strong that he can play a lot of different positions.
Yeah, he's listed on the activities website as an offensive lineman, defensive lineman, but I'm sure he probably gets used to run the ball a little bit, maybe to be a fullback in there to block. They could probably line him up as a linebacker or a receiver and have him go, because he, like you said, he's just that athletic. He can do anything.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. He has actually played every position you just said. They put him out there as number 02. He's played nose, he's played defensive end, he's played outside linebacker, he's played inside linebacker. They haven't moved him to DB yet, but that one might be a little bit too fast for him. But, everywhere in the box, he's played on defense, and offensively he's played all the line positions, fullback, tight end. They have split him out at wide receiver player too. They literally move him all over the place, and he's a really good athlete. So he's one that we've got to know where he's at and find ways to neutralize him.
When we talked last Saturday night after the game was over, you were happy to get the win, but not happy with how the game went. When you went back to watch it on film, what was some of the takeaways? Was there something more that you came away with saying, okay, maybe we did this a little bit better than I thought, or maybe we need to work on this a little bit more than I had originally thought as well?
Offensively, I think the biggest thing is we were one person away on a lot of plays. We had a 10-yard gain that should have been a touchdown, a 5-yard gain that should have been a touchdown. Some of the plays where it's hard to get a look at because they're a bad snap. And it just kind of felt, throughout most of that game that we were one person doing their job away from having successful offensive plays. And unfortunately, that's the hard part with offense is if one person doesn't do their job, the whole offense suffers, where on defense you can be lucky if that person's a backside corner or backside defensive end and the ball goes the other way, where offense, it just doesn't work that way. And defensively, I thought we still played pretty well. I thought we definitely still made some mistakes. And even our sideline guys, I think that was the other thing that we noticed is our sideline just didn't give off as much energy as we normally do. So it was just an all-around game that we needed to improve upon.
Is it now that you've gotten past it and maybe, and obviously you haven't got to that next game yet, but is it something that maybe this could be somewhat of a season-defining game of, hey, you got the win, but we need to be better in all assets of the game, and that this could be a season-defining game when we look back and say, yep, after this game, this is when the Pierre Governor started to maybe turn things on a little bit.
Yeah, and it's funny. Week 3 last year was our Yankton game where we went down there and were humbled, and I think that really kind of helped flip the mindset a little bit, and I would credit a lot of the rest of the season to that game and to that moment. And if you remember sitting up in the booth after that game, we kind of thought that, hey, maybe this is a good thing that, it's happening week 3 and not week 9 or 10 where you don't get that opportunity to rebound from it. So I definitely feel we have the capabilities, and this is definitely an opportunity for that growth moment that could jumpstart us.
Talking with Coach Steve Steele here, the Pierre Governor football team. They take on Douglas on Friday. We'll have the game at 7 o'clock Central Time. 6:30 we'll start pregame. And then Greg Dean will join me for the call here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. That's the biggest thing is what I've noticed when we've done these interviews after, we didn't get a chance to talk after the Brookings loss last year because you have to come all the way up the elevator, and we're in Brookings, so it was just impossible to get there without waiting 45 minutes after the game to talk to you. But after the Yankton game and then after last week's game, Yankton last year, then last week's game, that you always kind of come in with that same mindset of the game is over. We're going to talk about it, but you're not going to stay too high or too low with how the game went. You kind of come in here and maybe bring me and Greg back down to earth a little bit and say, hey, the game is over. Let's just talk about this, and then let's move on and get ready for the next week.
Yeah, and it's a hard thing to do. I mean, and no matter what the outcome is, sometimes you're really excited, you're really amped up. It was a great game, and you've obviously got to come in and dissect it, and it can be very hard to notice negatives in a great game, and it can be very hard to notice positives in a bad game. So it's always a challenge for me, and I know for you guys too, to kind of put some of the emotions of the games aside and focus on the finer details and events of the game that aren't just what you see on a box sheet.
And so as we talk about this Douglas Patriot team, this is a game where, again, it could be a trap game. You just look at the scores themselves, and it shows that the Pierre Governor should win rather easily. But that's not how it works in any football game ever. You don't win easily by just showing up. You got to go put in the work. So does last week maybe play into then this week and say, well, we saw what happens if we mentally aren't fully prepared for a game? Do you use that maybe as motivation going into this Friday?
That's been a big focal point and a big thing that we focused on all week, in practice, and our guys have come out really motivated. We had a really hard week of practice, and the guys embraced that hard week of practice, and we try to focus on ourselves, and we've really tried to drive home that it doesn't matter who we're playing. We kind of felt like we went out and played and elevated against Harrisburg for a while, and ran out of gas. We felt like we elevated at times against Mitchell, but we can't play to the level of our opponent, good or bad. I mean, that's just not something you want to rely on. We've ultimately got to play like ourselves and just continue to play to our standard, and we've got to focus on hitting that standard every day and not just thinking, we'll do it on game day.
We'll transition here to the NFL for a little bit because your team, the Lions, played, and I'm going to talk to Max Foth here later on, but we'll probably talk about it again because he's a 49ers guy, you're a Lions guy. I think the emotions of that first game for both of you are probably somewhat of how you feel about your teams every once in a while. The Lions put a good last 10 minutes together where the 49ers put 3 quarters together, but it wasn't a full game. And I think both of you coaches can probably say, I kind of feel that way on Friday nights. Yeah,
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I feel better about my team after week one because, there was very little expectation from me on the Lions. And, through about 2.5, 3 quarters, I was like, yeah, this is what I'm anticipating. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, wow, this could get interesting. Oof, we got a chance to tie this thing up. And that's not a good thing for his team. I said, and especially not many people were concerned about the Lions offense this year. And, the few people that were definitely not concerned about the Lions defense. So, I think that's probably not a good thing for the 49ers that you were able to let an offense that, I'm going to be honest with you, outside of the one guy we drafted from USC, yeah, that's how hard it is. I can't even remember that. I don't know who our receivers are. I know we have T.J. Hawkinson. He's very good. I know we have DeAndre Swift. And then I think it's St. Brown is the USC receiver we drafted.
Then Jared Goff.
Yeah, I don't know who else he throws it to.
But hey, now you get to go into week 2. I'm not sure who the Lions have or who the 49ers will have, but another chance to maybe get that first win. And
hey, they're tied for first in the NFC North.
You're right.
They're tied for last too.
Right. I think the Vikings are in first place just because their 3-point negative differential is the reason why they're in first place. And then you look at the NFC West where the 49ers are probably not in first place because of their point differential. The Rams are probably in first place, but everybody in the NFC West is undefeated. But, I did see a Facebook video that had all 32 teams on a treadmill with a car, and the Lions were the last one there, so they think the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That just blew your mind with that, didn't I?
Yeah, 100%.
But talking with Coach Steve Steele here of the Pierre Governor football team as they take on the Douglas Patriots this coming Friday, 7 o'clock Central Time, start 6:30 pregame for that contest. And you go down to Yankton, and again, it's a game where you don't want to look at Yankton because you got to focus on this week. And what's it going to take to knock off the Douglas Patriots and have that win that you come up and talk to us after the game and say, I liked how we played?
What we need to do is we need to go and play like we're capable. We've got to not be slow starters. We've got to come out and get right after it. I thought we did that against Harrisburg. I thought we mostly did that against Mitchell. It was a tough game, but I think we came out on both sides of the ball and did really well. We didn't do that last week, and I think that's more than anything what we need to do. We need to come out and play the way we're capable of playing right from the get-go and not wait to be challenged.
I do want to mention, too, that you mentioned about the NFC North, everybody being first and last place. You are tied for last place in the KCCR Pick'em, but I'm tied right there with you because we both went 2-1, and DT, and somehow Zach went 3-0. I don't know how Zach went 3-0, and he also questioned it Tuesday morning when I told him that he was in first place. So we might have some cheating going on, but we'll see how it goes tomorrow.
That's okay. You know, we'll just hope that whoever we have the picks on tomorrow for the Monday night game doesn't have a bad Friday practice like the Ravens did.
That is true. Yeah, the Ravens.
If I was you, I could have changed the rules to redo picks after a team-changing event like losing your starting running back, your backup running back, and your starting cornerback.
I never changed anything last year or this year.
Oh, you wanted to change which games we picked, remember? You're like, well, we could do this game, but we could also do this game.
Yeah, because
we'll pick both, and then I'll decide which one we use.
That's right. I remember that because I was surely thinking that they were going to flex one of the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game to Sunday Night Football instead of having, I think, two teams that were 4 games under 500 playing each other. I don't know why they didn't. However, we didn't use that. I just said if they do it, we'll make the picks. I didn't cheat because obviously I didn't cheat because if I would,
just left the door open.
I left the door open for myself to cheat, but I didn't because otherwise I would have won. If I really wanted to cheat, I would have made sure I won.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's not. Unfortunately, I did not cheat. I should have. Coach, I appreciate the time as always. We'll talk again here before the pregame on Friday. But good luck this Friday. And it's always a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, thanks, John.
We'll be back with more Coach's Corner after this here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports live from the Longbranch.
DT and Dale here for the Longbranch in downtown Pier. You know, the LB is a great place to kick back, relax, and unwind.
It has been for years, and it has a fantastic menu for lunch or dinner. Love that variety.
Yeah, good point. But we would be remiss if we didn't tell you about the best wings in town.
Tuesdays at the LB, try the delicious wings. And the more you buy, the more you save. The LB, the Longbranch in downtown Pier. Now the home of KCCR's Coach's Corner, Wednesday evenings.
As you give the lawn one final pass, enjoy that crisp fall air on your moist, furrowed brow before you throw yourself onto a monstrous pile of leaves and join First Dakota to bank some noise for fall sports. Shriek for floor-rattling spikes, whoop at game-saving stops, and gasp in awe at high-flying stunts. Let them hear you from the cheap seats. Bank some noise with us at First Dakota National Bank. Open a new account online today at firstdakota.com. Member FDIC.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
As long as you have a local cooperative, you'll never farm alone. At CHS Midwest Cooperative, our team is your team, ready to help you make the decisions that are vital to your operation. From the seed, plant health, and marketing the grain, to fuel to keep you running, the feed to supplement your herds, and the financing programs to make it all possible. We're here for you. Give CHS Midwest Cooperative a call today and let us show you the value of the co-op. Local, loyal, and trusted for generations.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pier is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the costs throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
When you want the best prices and best selection, go to Wegner Auto in Pierre. The certified sales staff at Wegner Auto will provide you service after the sale and how to get easy financing. Check out their website, WegnerAuto.com, or stop in. They have the best prices and won't be undersold. Wegner Auto has the region's largest selection with over 280 new and quality pre-owned vehicles. GM certified pre-owned vehicles give you peace of mind with their 12-month or 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty and 5-year or 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Log on to WegnerAuto.com or stop by Wegner Auto in Pierre, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer since 1907.
This is Coach's Corner on Central South Dakota Sports Station, AM 1240, today's KCCR.
As we welcome you back here to Coach's Corner on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports, joining me is Coach Tiffany Stosher of the Pierre Governor volleyball team as they get set for a big matchup tomorrow evening in Sioux Falls. They take on the Washington Warriors. Both teams are coming undefeated into that matchup. Coach, I'll ask you first, too, because you guys played last Saturday, was the last time you played. Washington played on Monday in Yankton. Were you able to watch that match as a team? Were you able to, if maybe not be able to watch it, but you get some film on that then the next day and be able to watch a little bit of it?
Yeah, so coaching staff watched it live, and girls logged in and watched it live. And then in practice, we kind of tore it apart a little bit and had a little bit of film review and go over game plans, taking parts of that video and watching it. So we have got a chance to see kind of their latest play, their latest rotations, who's hitting well for them, who's doing things well for them, and kind of help us come up with a game plan for Thursday.
And let's talk about that this Washington team. What would you see that stands out probably the most to you about the Warriors?
Well, offensively, they're good hitters. If you allow them to stay in system, then they're going to make you pay for it. They have a strong offense. They've got hitters from in all positions. They run a 5-1, so they've got go to the outside quite a bit, or else they swing from the back. I saw a few times they're using their middles and swinging in the corner. So if you allow them, if you roll a shot, give them soft tips, allow them to stay in system, they're definitely going to swing hard back at you.
Again, talking with Coach Tiffany Stosher of the Pierre Governor volleyball team. So you guys are taking on this Washington team, and only one common opponent is Mitchell. How much film do you take from your game against Mitchell and their game against Mitchell, and kind of compare the two? Obviously, it's been a couple weeks since they played Mitchell. You guys have been about almost a week and a half since you had played Mitchell. Does that factor in because again it's your only common opponent? It's only a chance to see the same type of team on the other side.
Yeah, I did watch that and keep it, take it into account a little bit. It took us 5 sets to beat Mitchell, and it just took them 3. But in 2 of the sets, Mitchell led for a majority of the game. And so there's some similarities there. I thought Mitchell played a little bit on their heels and allowed Washington to be in system. And so, they're like you said, it was kind of a long time ago now. We both had a few games since then, and so I did take it into account, but know that we're just going to have to play hard if we're going to put a dent in anything.
And we can talk about the Washington team a lot, and obviously that is your team's focus right now is Washington for tomorrow. But then you go into Saturday and home against Lincoln. It doesn't get much easier. I mean, you go from being the number 2 team in the AA standings to the number 4 team in the AA standings with the Lincoln Patriots, who are 8-1 coming into going into the weekend. What have you looked at them a lot lately? Have you been able to kind of break down their game and how they play?
Yeah, and Washington and Lincoln played each other, and they're as evenly matched as you can find. I think it went to that 5th set, and it was a 15-13 outcome with Washington winning. And they're different teams. I think Lincoln defensively is a better team, and Washington offensively is a better team, and so they really battled. Tomorrow I think there's some things that we do better than Washington does currently. But there's some things that Washington's going to present for challenges for us as well. So I'm expecting an all-out battle. I'm hoping that it is. We need one of these to grow in our own game and become stronger athletes and a stronger team. So I'm expecting a battle tomorrow. I hope we walk away with a win. I think that we can do it. I think if the girls are confident and do what they're capable of doing, we will. But it's not going to be easy. And so this is a real test for us, and this is just part of growing and going from a good volleyball team to a great volleyball team.
Yeah, and you look at your schedule, and obviously Washington is going to be your toughest opponent to date because, well, you're facing an undefeated team at this point in the season. That they obviously will be, unless you've already faced an undefeated team. this is going to be your toughest opponent. But you look at the rest of your schedule; it's not been easy. It's not been that you're facing teams that Sturgis and Spearfish presented some problems to you. But yes, they're down towards the bottom of the AA standings. Most of these teams are sitting in the middle, towards the upper part of the AA standings that you face this year. And so you got to like the fact that you haven't just beaten teams that are at the bottom of the standings to this point. You've beaten some really good teams and deserve every bit of being 7-0.
Yeah, I think so. I think that there were some games that we had to battle and mentally had to be prepared if we were going to win those. They could have very easily gone the other way. And so, like you said, Aberdeen, Mitchell, they're right there in the middle, hovering that 8-9 spot, and I expect them to stay there. So the fact that we got wins over teams like that is a confidence boost for us. It's something we haven't done in a while, and now we have to do what it takes to beat the top teams, and we're being included in that, in that company right now, and it's exciting, but it's new for us. And so to go up there and walk into a gym and play a team that's rated number 1, number 2 is intimidating, and I'm expecting a little bit of nerves from our girls. But if they go out there and do what they're capable of, I think they'll find they belong in deserving all the kind of feedback that they're getting as being a highly ranked team. I think they deserve to be there, and we'll find out tomorrow just how strong we are.
Absolutely. Again, talking with Coach Tiffany Stocher of the Pierre Governor volleyball team. They take on the Washington Warriors tomorrow, 7 o'clock first serve. Will be on the air at 6:40 for pregame here on KCCR and available to watch on YouTube at KCCR Sports. And I've been looking forward to this matchup for a while, and obviously we even talked about it in the pregame and the post games Friday and Saturday. Obviously, that it was in the terms of you can't think about the game on Thursday until you get past those two games on Saturday or Friday and Saturday, and when you go back and look at the film on the Friday and Saturday games, obviously there's a lot of good to take away because you swept both those teams. But there's some good learning experiences from the girls, because you're not very happy at one point in the third set against Sturgis with the effort the team had, and it's a good, especially now, it's a good learning experience to know that you can't take a set off. You can't even take a couple points off in a set.
Yeah, and with Washington, we're not only going to be we can't do that. We can't have a lot of serving errors, can't have a lot of hitting errors, but we have to be aggressive. And so there's a lot of things that I'm asking them to do that are near impossible. I mean, we're going to make mistakes. And so however we bounce back from the mistakes is going to be the key for us. I think we're one of the best teams in the state when we're in system and we're aggressive. But we've yet to have a team that's going to throw things back in our face the way we're going to see on Thursday. And so how we react to those errors, how we react to being down a couple points and having to fight back is what this whole match is going to be about for us tomorrow.
And again, we'll keep talking about this Washington team because the last couple of years they've had some really, really tall girls. They've had some towers to try and beat. Now, not so much maybe the as tall as they are, but they're still a really good team. What makes them different from maybe last year's team to this year's team? Obviously, Fekrin Kong and Sydney Shetinen graduated the last couple of years now, but yet they still are very, very good. What makes them so good?
Well, they've got strong hitters at almost every position. And the thing about teams like Washington is they expect to win. They've been in a winning program for a lot of years, and they really don't get scared of anybody walking into their gym or walking into someone else's. They expect to win every single game, and that's something we're still working towards. We haven't had a winning season for quite some time, and so to go to these opponents that win year after year and they're in the top ranked seeds year after year after year is a little bit intimidating. And so I know that they deserve to be there, and I think the girls are starting to see it. Certainly the community's behind them. So we walk in there confident tomorrow and play our game. I think we're going to be okay.
And now as we are getting close to the halfway point, we're not quite there yet, but we're getting close to the halfway point of the season. Obviously, 7-0 is a fantastic feat to be at. You're in the top 3. You're one of 3 undefeated teams in AA. But now you're starting to feel more and more about this team being able to host a SODAC 16 game. Obviously, that's probably the goal going in, that you want to make the state tournament, but you want to host the SODAC 16 game. Now you feel a little bit more that it's in your grasp to obtain with the start that you have. What's that feeling? Or maybe you're trying to keep that feeling away right now, saying we can't take it easy because we're not guaranteed to host quite yet. We still got to win a lot of games to be that way. But you're obviously on the right track to be in that spot.
Yeah, we feel what it feels like, or we're getting the opportunity to feel what other teams that have been top of the ratings are getting to feel. We're 7-0. We're over a third way through the season, and we expect to have some more wins down the road here. So I think that it's within grasp. The girls are starting to feel it, and if we have crowd support like we've had these last couple of games, I think we're going to make it hard for anybody that walks in our gym that day. So we're expecting a home game. We're going to prepare for a home game, and these girls aren't accepting anything short of going to the state tournament. So I'm looking for an excited, we've got some tough teams coming up. We're well aware of that. We've got, even after this week, these two Sioux Falls schools, our next games are Rhapsody Christian, who's undefeated in Class A, and then we go out to O'Gorman, and Brandon Valley's coming in. And so they're all top-rated teams. We're not getting any breakthrough for a couple weeks, and then we start battling some teams that we've already seen once. And so we know it's hard to beat some teams twice. So we're going through the schedule. I definitely think that we're going to be on the upper part of the ratings, or that we're going to deserve that home seed for SODAC, which is new. I don't think we've got to see one since SODAC 16's become the new format. I don't think we've seen one in basketball, girls or boys. I don't think we've seen one in volleyball. So our school's ready, the fans are ready, and we're hoping to be the first ones to give that to them.
Absolutely, and this is an exciting portion of the season. But sometimes midway point in the season, things get a little bit of a lull, and you're kind of waiting to get to the end of the season. Now, this is as exciting as it gets. It feels like a playoff game tomorrow. It really does. I've been kind of talking about it here at the station all week and being excited about it and talking on air about it. It just doesn't it feel like a playoff game right now?
Yeah, it absolutely does. There's a lot of hype behind it. There's a lot of people asking questions and radio stations, and of course, Sioux Falls radio stations are calling me and wanting. They're saying they want this to be kind of a hyped up. It's two undefeated teams going at it, and so we're going to get off the bus and we're going to get stretched out, and we're going to give it everything we have tomorrow.
And so, Coach, before I let you go, and again, the Pierre Governors will take on Washington tomorrow, 7 o'clock first serve, 6:40 pregame, right here on KCCR, and you can watch it on YouTube at KCCR Sports. What's going to be that top thing for you guys to get the job done tomorrow night?
Stay in system. We have to stay in system and swing hard at them. They definitely leave open areas on the floor. We start hitting those spots with hard, aggressive swings. I don't think they're going to be able to handle it. We start to falter and roll shot and tip and allow them to swing back at us. I'm not sure we're going to be able to handle it. So we stay in system. It's a big ask for girls. We can't let up. Stay aggressive just like we've been doing. It's working for us. I trust our defense, but we've got to have that mental game going and staying in system physically.
Coach Tiffany Stocher, the Pierre Governors, again, they take on Washington tomorrow, 7 o'clock first serve, 6:40 pregame. Don't miss it here on KCCR or watch it on YouTube at KCCR Sports. It is a big matchup. There's a lot of big matchups. Well, Saturday's game against Lincoln, there is a lot of big games upcoming for the Pierre Governors, but it starts tomorrow evening against the Washington Warriors. Coach, I appreciate the time as always. Always fun talking to you, and can't wait to see what you guys do against Washington tomorrow. And I know we'll talk before during the pregame, but good luck tomorrow evening.
I appreciate it, John. Thanks.
Back with more of Coach's Corner after this on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
For an excellent choice to meet, greet, or eat, be sure to head to Downtown Pier and the Longbranch. The Longbranch has plenty of room for the big groups, cozy spots for that intimate setting, and you're going to love the selections and variety on their menu. Plus, their specials are sure to please. There's a fantastic variety of libations available, and it's a great place to unwind. Now, home of KCCR Coach's Corner Wednesday nights, come on down to the LB, the Longbranch, 351 South Pier Street, downtown Pier.
It takes hard work to reach goals. It's a truth that applies to more than just sports. It also goes for your financial goals. You work hard for your money. You deserve an investment strategy that lines up with your game plan. Your local Edward Jones financial advisor can help. If your investments aren't getting you closer to the win, visit edwardjones.com or stop by your local Pier area Edward Jones office for a financial review. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
At Avera Health Plans, health insurance is more than just coverage. It's about making connections. We connect you with quality health care so you're covered when you need it. To health coaches and nurses who help meet your health goals. And to a quality network of providers, specialists, and 24/7 virtual care. Our focus is on your everyday well-being. Wherever you are along the journey, choose our health plan with connections. Connect with your agent or visit averahealthplans.com.
For 30 years, Todd's Electric Service has had the privilege of providing electrical wiring solutions for residential, commercial, and agricultural customers in Central South Dakota. From small service calls to large commercial projects, Todd's Electric Service has experienced electricians for any job. Call 223-2518 to schedule your project. Todd's Electric Service is your line to power. 223-2518.
People helping people.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre still wants your trade or your spare vehicle, and we're willing to give you top dollar. And we'll throw in an additional 250 Pierre Pride dollars. Sell us your car, and Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you an additional 250 Pierre Pride dollars. Trade in your vehicle for a new or different one, and Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you 250 Pierre Pride dollars. Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota at 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Call 605-224-7378 and visit gatewayfordtoyota.com.
This is Coach's Corner on Central South Dakota Sports Station, AM 1240, today's KCCR.
And we welcome you back here to the Long Branch as we now welcome in Coach Max Foth of the Stanley County Buffaloes. And Coach, it's good to talk to you again. And coming off a win, we get a chance to kind of talk about a winning game from last Friday, and I'm sure that makes you I'll say get a little fist bump in there. It makes you pretty happy that we can talk about this.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to talk about. Like we touched on before, it's a lot easier to fix mistakes that you made, and we made plenty of them, but it's so much easier for the kids to be able to fix mistakes after you win a ball game, and especially with how long our season had been to that point. And like we talked about before, we'd gotten better each and every game, but when you start practice at the beginning of August and you don't win until that week in September, it's a long month of hitting each other for a lot of practices, and to finally get that monkey off our back and get that first win of the season, it was really good for our kids.
And how has practice been responsive of that win? We'll talk about that game here in just a little bit, but how is that? Have you seen maybe a little pep in guys' steps here in practice through the first couple of days of this week?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little less angsty, it's a little less frustrated, it's more, you get to kind of see that joy come back to the sport again, and the reason they came out for football was to feel that good and to be able to play with their friends and run around and hit people and all the good things that football brings to us, and it was fun to see at practice this week, and I think we've had a heck of a week of practice because we got a good team coming on Friday.
And so we'll talk about that Potter County team here in just a little bit. But let's go back to Friday's game. It was homecoming for Sully Buttes. You got to go to Oneida, get the win. It's always, and I apologize to Sully Buttes fans right now, but it's always good to go as a road team to go somewhere and win on their homecoming night. It's as a coach, as a player, that's a really good feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. It's especially since it was our first win of the season. I think it was more of like a relieved factor for some of our players and for some of our coaches too, and we were so excited, and they're a good football team. There's a reason they've won the games that they've won, and they'll have a nice record by the end of the year, and they do a lot of things really well. So we knew we had to play well to be able to beat these guys, and we felt like we did play well enough. But like I said, we made plenty of mistakes that we're trying to shore up in practice here, and like I said, we've played better each game out, including our last game, and hopefully we can build on that.
And what was the biggest takeaway? What was the best thing that you saw from your team on Friday against Sully Buttes?
Yeah, I think just our resiliency. I love that we jumped on them right away. The first series we had the ball, we received, and we took the ball, and we had about a 14-play drive that we paid off with a touchdown, and that kind of set the tone for the game, and our defense really battled. And there was another time in that second quarter where right before halftime we gave up a double move, and they had the ball deep down in the red zone, but we ended up getting a stop right before halftime, and until you head into the second half, being up 14-0 and kind of building off of that stop that we made. It was good to see that resiliency out of our kids, and for them to keep putting their best foot forward and find a way to win that game. And
now you take on this Potter County team at home here on Friday. This is a big game, too, because Potter County is a good team and kind of another rivalry-type game. Even though it's 9AA versus 9B, there's a lot of familiarity with a lot of different kids. That Lucan's kid for Potter County, I'm sure that's going to be not just your only target to worry about, but he's going to create a lot for Potter County.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a very talented player. I think he finished with over 400 yards of total offense last week, so he certainly is – as advertised. He can run. He throws a good football. They do a nice job of letting him get inside and outside of the pocket and run around with that thing. And that's the thing with 9-man football, too, is if you miss one tackle, there's so much space out there when you're playing against a kid that's that quick and that slippery. It could be a long night for you. So we got to really do a good job of trying to keep him in the pocket and really try to corral him, at the point of attack.
You've played those 4 games, and this is going to be your 5th game and your second time at home, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So, and it's got to make you feel kind of good because you're towards the end of the season, you're going to play a lot more home games, and especially when travel starts to build up at the end of a season, you guys are going to be at home, which is going to help a lot with the legs, get the rest that you need, and get ready for the playoffs because it's a stretch where you look to win a lot of those games, but being at home, again, is a big factor to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Being at home helps everybody, as far as us coaches. After the game, we can get the film uploaded and we can get looking at that next team. And kids, we don't have to take the bus ride, like you said. And it's really fun to play in front of our home fans. And especially, all of a sudden now that we've been seen playing some better football, I look forward to hopefully having a really full home stadium there and lots of people cheering for the Buffs.
Yes, kickoff's at 7 o'clock on Friday night at Ole Williamson Field as Stanley County takes on the Potter County Battlers. Talking with Coach Max Voth here of the Stanley County Buffaloes. So let's transition a little bit of football. You got to see your 49ers win, and you said you left at probably the right time when the 49ers were winning by a lot. You didn't see kind of how the rest of that fourth quarter played out. So you left probably on a good note. You just kind of looked at your phone probably and said, what in the world happened?
Exactly. Yeah, it was kind of funny because, we always have a Sunday coaches meeting where we get together and we discuss the game and we kind of prep for the next week and that kind of deal. And we try to plan it for in between that early game and that next slate of games in the NFL. And, I left the house and I was getting ready for our meeting. And when I left, the Niners were up 38-10. And by the end of our meeting, the Lions had already clawed it all the way back to make it basically a one-touchdown game. So I still don't even know how it happened. I just saw all the alerts on my phone, and I'm just happy the Niners got out of there with a win. But like I told some of my friends, it was a pretty rare football weekend for me. I was pretty happy with it because, we go out and we get the win on Friday night, and then Michigan wins on Saturday, Ohio State loses, and then my NFL team wins on Sunday. Like, that was about as good as it gets for a weekend for me, a weekend of football anyway.
I was going to say, now you're going to get spoiled. Hopefully you don't get spoiled by it. And hopefully you only get spoiled because the Buffs, at least the Buffs are winning.
That's right. Yeah, if I could pick one, it's always
that's
Buffs.
That's right. You'll take that all the way through the middle of November, and then the 49ers and Michigan and Ohio State lose, and that can all happen again after that.
Exactly right.
Talking with Coach Max Voth here of the Stanley County Buffaloes. Again, they take on the Potter County Battlers. That will be coming up on Friday, and that kickoff's at 7 o'clock at Ole Williamson Field. Coach, before I let you go here, as we kind of wrap up, what's it going to take to knock off Potter County? How are you guys going to be able to knock them off, go to 2-3, and drop them to 3-2?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be one of those things that, I hate to use the cliches, but we still turn the ball over against Sully Buttes a few too many times for my liking. We forced more turnovers, which is great, but we got to do a better job of securing the football and cut down on those fumbles. And a big thing to look for is if we can contain, their quarterback and do a good job with the Lukens kid, that, I think that gives us a chance. If we can't contain him, if we let him outside of the pocket, if we let him make one move and head downfield, it's going to be a long night for us. So we've stressed it at practice. We're going to try to keep him contained and keep him closed down and really make him try to throw people open from the pocket. And if he does that, you just tip your hat to him and you just say, good game, and we'll be on to the next one. But I like our plan. I like our kids where we're at, and I like how much better we've played over the last couple games here.
Coach Max Voth of the Stanley County Buffaloes. They take on Potter County on Friday. Kickoffs at 7 o'clock at Ole Williamson Field. Coach, I appreciate the time as always. Good luck on Friday, and looking forward to talking to you again here in the next couple weeks.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Back with more of Coach's Corner after this here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports, live from the Long Branch.
Dale and DT here for the LB.
You know, Dale, the Long Branch offers variety, live music, and drink specials to help you unwind.
True, but you have got to try one of the most diverse menus available.
Got to get in a shout out for their wings. Some of the best in town. Tuesdays, they have wing specials and a killer selection of flavors.
And now, the LB is home of KCCR's Coach's Corner. Wednesday nights up on the big stage.
Come for the food, stay for the fun. The LB, the Long Branch, 351 South Pier Street in downtown Pier. Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
It takes hard work to reach goals. It's a truth that applies to more than just sports. It also goes for your financial goals. You work hard for your money. You deserve an investment strategy that lines up with your game plan. Your local Edward Jones financial advisor can help. If your investments aren't getting you closer to the win, visit edwardjones.com or stop by your local Pier area Edward Jones office for a financial review. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pier is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
This is Coach's Corner on Central South Dakota Sports Station, AM 1240, today's KCCR.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Joining me is Coach Kira Swenson of the Pier Governor girls soccer team. As first chance to talk here, Kira. So let's talk about you. Tell me about yourself and where you're able to grow up, and then how you're able to get the job here at Pier.
I actually grew up in Florida, and then ended up going to college at Northern. So that's what brought me up here, and then moved to Pierre in 2010. And I've been working at the Pure Indian Learning Center since then, and heard about the position, and I don't know, it sounded like a great opportunity. So.
And you played soccer at Northern. Talk about your experience playing at Northern.
Wouldn't change it for the world. I mean, those are lifelong friendships. The valuable lessons you learn from playing sports and going to school at the same time that I carry out, now to this day. And I'm trying to instill those in the girls too.
And when I talked to Miguel Manriquez last week, the Harrisburg team had a college teammate that was assistant coach. Do you have any teammates that are coaching throughout the soccer ranks here in AA?
Yeah, actually, up at Aberdeen, Kendra Hanley now. And then Lara Steen is down at Sioux Falls Jefferson. So it's pretty cool getting to see them. I mean, upcoming anyways for Jefferson, but yeah.
And of course, you guys are sitting at 6-3 right now in the season, and right around that top 5. 4 winnable games to close out the season. Obviously, Brookings is tomorrow. Let's first talk about them. Last road game of the season as well. What do you expect to see from that Brookings team?
It's always tough coming off of losses, but we have to rebound. And I think this week at practice, it's been going well. And we just have to show up tomorrow. We have to outwork them. Those were 2 tough losses. But it just makes us grow stronger as a team and brings us together more.
And that's the thing too is, yes, you're 6-3, but unfortunately on a 2-game losing skid. However, those 2 games are 2 of the tough matchups that you've had all season. Out of you've probably played 5 or 6, and you're probably 3-3 in those 6 matchups. However, you want to get off of that as quick as possible, especially at the end of the season. Offensively, you guys have been good, but maybe sometimes a little bit slow to start offensively. How important is it maybe a good start against Brookings tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely. We need to, those first 5 minutes are critical in a game. They set the tone for the rest of the game. And I think you saw us come out strong against Brandon Valley, just things didn't quite go our way. And then we just weren't able to rebound as well. But yeah, those first 5 minutes in a game are absolutely crucial to the rest of the game and how it goes.
And you got to credit your goalkeepers in times where the offense kind of is a little bit slow to get started. Your goalkeeper, Jenny Gehring, has been absolutely phenomenal all season long, and had 5 of the 6 wins as a shutout, and that's impressive to get just 1 shutout. But she had 5 straight shutouts to open up a season. How good has she been for you guys?
It's pretty special to watch her play back there. And yes, she has absolutely kept us in games. And that's something I've even said after the games. It should have been a 5-0, 6-0 loss for us, but Jenna has kept us in that game. We just haven't produced on the offensive sides of things. So we've been really practicing that this week, and hopefully it'll show tomorrow against Brookings.
But even so, the end of games, you guys have played really good, offensively, and obviously throughout the entire game defensively too. But this team's got a lot of good talent, but a lot of young talent. That's probably the most fun thing about this team is that you don't want to look ahead to next year, but almost all these girls are going to come back next year and play for a couple more years.
Right. That is true. We are a young team, but I really credit our seniors too for kind of gelling us together and making us a team. They have that senior leadership that comes through for us. So yeah, the future is bright, but right now it's great to be a part of this team as well.
And even then, offensively too, you guys share the ball really well. There's not the same girl scoring every time. It's not always Avery Davis. Ryan Berry scores. You get Grace Richter in there. You have so many different girls that find a way to score. Ellie Hughes as well. There's a lot of different names. I just named 4 of them, but that's not even half of how many girls have scored this year.
And I think that goes to just like our style of play. It's not focused on one person. This is a team, and what can you do for the team is our mentality.
Now, as we get set for the end of the season, which is, again, hard to believe that we're almost at the end of the season, but just 4 games left, Brookings tomorrow, and then you return home next Tuesday against Yankton, Saturday against Jefferson, and the following Tuesday against Huron to close out the season. Just how is it nice to be able to close out the season at home, and where you sit right now, you'd at least host that first round game. If not, be in that top 4, you could host the second round game. But how nice is it to be able to close out?
Oh, absolutely. It's tiring when you're on the road. Those are late nights for the girls. The expectation is is there to still perform in the school as well. So it's nice to be able to be home, keep them in classes longer during the days, and then for us not having to travel back as well, and hopefully our performance, at home can be stronger as well.
Yeah, and being able to now, I mean, you're again sitting at a spot where in the top 8, potentially in the top 4, but it looks right now, again, if things hold out, you guys will be at home to open up a first round playoff game. And again, how important is it to have the home fans to be able to support you in a playoff game, not just regular season anymore, but for a playoff game?
Whenever you're at home, the odds should be in your favor a little more. Like you said, you have the fans, and we have great fans supporting us. So, to hopefully have that home field advantage should work in your favor a little more. Things, the field a little better, how everything's kind of playing out, how the ball's moving, and it should be a strength for us.
And again, talking with Coach Keir Swenson of the Pierre Governor girls soccer team as they take on Brookings tomorrow. The girls will play second, the boys play first at 4, and then the girls will play second at 6 o'clock. And then the final 3 home games next Tuesday against Yankton, the following Saturday against Jefferson, and then that following Tuesday against Huron. All 3 of those matchups will be on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. So, Coach, before I let you go, what's going to take to knock off this Brookings team tomorrow?
We have to play as a team. We need to connect passes and believe in each other.
And all right, I asked Miguel this last week too, that he, playing college soccer, playing in college sports, sometimes you get those interviews, sometimes you don't. Have you ever done something like this before?
An interview?
Well, like an actual long type interview, not just an actual, just a regular interview.
Oh, no. Not besides a job interview. No.
So how did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy this?
No, this is absolutely terrifying. I did not enjoy this part at all. No.
I do appreciate you coming on here. It is good to be able to talk to you, and I know and I probably will have to bug you at least one more time before we get done with the season. But it is fun to talk about this girls team because there's a lot of success. This girls team is having a lot of success, and it has been a lot of fun to watch these girls play.
Absolutely, the girls are awesome. It's made this transition into coaching just really smooth and really enjoyable to be out here with them. So yeah.
Coach Keir Swenson, the Pierre Governor girls soccer team, they play Brookings tomorrow, and then they'll play then Yankton next Tuesday, and then Jefferson the following Saturday, and here on that following Tuesday. That'll be the end of the regular season, and those last 3 home games you can catch here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Coach, I appreciate the time. Good luck tomorrow, and can't wait to watch these last couple of home games, and can't wait to talk to you again here on Coach's Corner.
Thank you very much.
Back with more of Coach's Corner after this on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
DT and Dale here for the Longbranch in downtown Pierre. You know, the LB is a great place to kick back, relax, and unwind.
It has been for years, and it has a fantastic menu for lunch or dinner. Love that variety.
Yeah, good point. But we would be remiss if we didn't tell you about the best wings in town.
Tuesdays at the LB, try the delicious wings. And the more you buy, the more you save. The LB, the Longbranch in downtown Pierre. Now the home of KCCR's Coach's Corner, Wednesday evenings.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
For 30 years, Todd's Electric Service has had the privilege of providing electrical wiring solutions for residential, commercial, and agricultural customers in central South Dakota. From small service calls to large commercial projects, Todd's Electric Service has experienced electricians for any job. Call 223-2518 to schedule your project. Todd's Electric Service is your line to power. 223-2518.
As you give the lawn one final pass, enjoy that crisp fall air on your moist, furrowed brow before you throw yourself onto a monstrous pile of leaves and join First Dakota to bank some noise for fall sports. Shriek for floor-rattling spikes, whoop at game-saving stops, and gasp in awe at high-flying stunts. Let them hear you from the cheap seats. Bank some noise with us at First Dakota National Bank.
Open a new account online today at firstdakota.com. Member FDIC.
When When you want the best prices and best selection, go to Wagner Auto in Pierre. The certified sales staff at Wagner Auto will provide you service after the sale and how to get easy financing. Check out their website, WagnerAuto.com, or stop in. They have the best prices and won't be undersold. Wagner Auto has the region's largest selection with over 280 new and quality pre-owned vehicles. GM certified pre-owned vehicles give you peace of mind with their 12-month or 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty and 5-year or 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Log on to WagnerAuto.com or stop by Wagner Auto in Pierre, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer since 1907.
As long as you have a local cooperative, you'll never farm alone. At CHS Midwest Cooperative, our team is your team, ready to help you make the decisions that are vital to your operation. From the seed, plant health, and marketing the grain, to fuel to keep you running, the feed to supplement your herds, and the financing programs to make it all possible. We're here for you. Give CHS Midwest Cooperative a call today and let us show you the value of the co-op. Local, loyal, and trusted for generations.
At Avera Health Plans, health insurance is more than just coverage. It's about making connections. We connect you with quality health care so you're covered when you need it. To health coaches and nurses who help meet your health goals. And to a quality network of providers, specialists, and 24/7 virtual care. Our focus is on your everyday well-being. Wherever you are along the journey, choose our health plan with connections. Connect with your agent or visit AveraHealthPlans.com.
This is Coach's Corner on Central South Dakota Sports Station, AM 1240, today's KCCR.
And we welcome you back here to the Long Branch as we wrap up another edition of Coach's Corner. And thanks again to all our coaches, Coach Steve Steele of the Pierre Governor football team, as well as Coach Tiffany Stocher of the Pierre volleyball team, Coach Max Foth of the Stanley County football team, and Kira Swenson of the Pierre Governor girls soccer team. Tomorrow here on KCCR, and you can watch it on YouTube at KCCR Sports. We will have for you Pierre volleyball taking on the Washington Warriors in a big matchup. Two undefeated teams will go toe-to-toe at 7 o'clock Central Time. 6:40 will start pregame, and you can listen to it right here on KCCR or watch it on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Also, Friday, we'll have a Pierre Governor football for you at 7 o'clock with pregame starting at 6:30 as they take on the Douglas Patriots. Again, thanks to our coaches here this evening. Thanks to Long Branch. Another great evening here on Wednesday nights, and you can join us every Wednesday night here at the Long Branch for Coach's Corner, 5:30 to 6:30. Same time, same place next week, Wednesday, right here on KCCR. And you can watch it. We can stream it on YouTube at KCCR Sports. That'll wrap things up. We'll see you next week here from the Long Branch for Coach's Corner here on KCCR.
Listening to Coach's Corner on KCCR and online at kccrradio.com. Coach's Corner live from the Long Branch has been brought to you by Kruger Contracting, Avera St. Mary's, Bank West, Birding Electric, Gales Gas, Edward Jones Financial, Gateway Ford, Lincoln and Toyota, Midwest Co-op, and Oahe Federal Credit Union. Coach's Corner on KCCR is also brought to you by Lamb Motor, First Dakota National Bank, Todd's Electric, Shane's Pharmacy, and Wagner Auto. Join us every Wednesday evening from 5:30 to 6:30 for Coach's Corner, live at the Long Branch in Pierre or on air at KCCR or kccrradio.com. This has been a special presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting Sports, Central